choose to be better no matter how uncomfortable. We know what we have to do to change our lives for the better, but how come we don't do them? If we know we're supposed to buckle down and do that project or go meet that client or do whatever, how come instead that we go on social media, we watch TV and distract ourselves instead of doing the things that will actually help us with our lives? How come we do that? My name is Johan and this is the Legacy Academy. Let's get into it. I wondered that for myself for the longest time, but it's like until you realize that our brains actually stop us from feeling discomfort, our brains don't like us feeling comfortable, so they try to prevent us from feeling that way. It's more uncomfortable to go and try to reach your goals instead of just flicking on the TV and start watching. It's more uncomfortable to wake up and go work out when you don't want to, or just eating an extra slice of pizza. It's way more comfortable to work out. Life's all about choices. Little choices that happen every minute that end up defining your life. Choices like to work on your business or not, to have a hard conversation with a friend or not, to stand up to a bully or not. Indecision is a choice too. Don't forget that. You define yourself with each of these moments and they start piling and piling and piling up on top of each other until that's what you and other people describe as yourself, as you. But here's the silver lining. It doesn't always have to be the way it's always been. You could change. If you don't like a certain aspect about yourself, whether it's how late you are all the time, how closed-minded you are, how rude you are, or whatever, it doesn't always have to be that way. It only takes two things to change yourself for the better. One, be self-aware enough to actually notice these things, and two, make the conscious choice to actually change. Yeah, you might fuck up along the way, but that's perfectly fine. Incremental change is stacked on top of each other. It's going to make you leaps and bounds better than you were a year ago, a month ago, or even a week ago. It all piles on top of each other, and 1% every day leads to a shit ton of difference in a year. The same way those little decisions defined who you are as a person are the same little conscious decisions that will shape the new you, the person you want to be. And the conscious part is the most important part because you know you want to change for the better, but the reason that you resort to those previous habits is because that's what they are. They're habits. They're your form of response to a certain external stimulus, whatever it is. Somebody being rude to you, so you be rude back. Somebody says something, you just say yes automatically, even if you don't have the time for it. So once you're conscious of what your response is in certain situations, you can actively change that. And then you can change into the person you want to be. To become that better version of you, it takes time, self-awareness, and perseverance. It's not going to happen in a week or two. It probably won't even happen in a month. To be honest, it might not even happen in a year, but the process is the process. The more your old way of thinking is ingrained in you, the longer it'll take to reverse that. Reflect often and see how you could have handled different situations differently to have a better outcome. It takes conscious effort and it's honestly really hard. I made it sound easy in these few minutes, but it's one of the hardest things in life to assess who you are as a person and point out your flaws and figure out ways to better yourself and become that person that you look up to. This could and most likely will be the hardest and most uncomfortable thing you will ever have to do in your life, but the alternative is worse. Be that person that you want to be, and don't let your usual way of thinking stop you from growing and bettering yourself. I encourage you to create a mantra that you repeat to yourself, or have an audio file of somebody speaking that you have on repeat and that really hits home for you. A mantra could be something like this. Here, I'm just going to read off what I have here. I won't let my old way of thinking hinder me from new and exciting experiences. I will make a conscious effort to better myself every day. Each moment presents an opportunity for improvement. I will live up to my fullest potential. Or something like that. It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but that's just something I have written down. Everyone's different and everyone's goals are different. So figure out what you need to say to yourself to keep yourself on track, and keep repeating that to yourself over and over and adjust along the way. But slow down. Slow your roll, champ. Like, we got to reflect constantly. That's a major thing. Life can get busy, and if you don't stop yourself and constantly reflect on what's been going on, you might not see that you're actually on the wrong path. Don't sleepwalk through life, because that's the best way to end up old, resentful, and full of regret. I hope this helped you in some way. Give me a like and subscribe so other people can see this message too. And leave a comment of what you learned in this video, or what your takeaways are, if you have something to add. I'd love to know. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Peace.